Adam Kaplan is our NFL insider on SportsGrid and on Coast to Coast over 2.5 decades covering the NFL. You can follow him for free on X at Kaplan NFL, and that is a strong move for you, mister. You should sign up and follow Adam on X, and you'll have all the skinny you need for the NFL season throughout the season. And today we're talking about the Patriots to start because they gave Rhamondre Stevenson a bunch of money today.
Yeah, they did. And it's funny in social media, some fans that don't understand Scott, and we'll get into it. Like, why would they do this? The guy's on the final year of his deal. He got hurt last season. Well, a couple things. And by the way, it's a 4-year deal worth $36 million, so $9 million a season. We'll explain to you what that means in the landscape of running back in a minute. But here's the deal. They're going to be a run-based offense. This is what they want with Gerard Mayo and the changes. Alex Van Pelt as the offense coordinator. They want to be a run-first team. And to do it, you need what we call a bell cow. A guy who could handle the rushing load. Stevenson is terrific in the run game when healthy. He's a good player. But he was beat up physically last season. A bunch of injuries. He tried to play through them. And he's also good in the pass game. And they knew he was going to go in the final year. The running back numbers are going up. They wanted him to be a Patriot for a long time. A lot of the holdovers on the staff knew him. They knew Stevenson, so they knew he could handle it. And they made a decision. Why wait? You know, the Barkley deal was very rich, over $12 million a year. We know that McCaffrey got a monster extension. So when you really look at it, how much is really $9 million? He's the 7th highest paid running back in the National Football League is Rhamondre Stevenson. And they're getting in early here. They're not going to wait and see the deals in free agency next year go up to $12, $14 million per season for the best young running backs. They got him at $9 million. By the way, Josh Jacobs got $12 million, and he's got a 1-year structure. So this is their guy. There's no question about it. They're going to go forward with Rhamondre Stevenson as the guy. He has a 4-year extension. Now, as I understand it, I believe it's a 2-year structure. I mean, it's this year plus the first year mostly fully guaranteed. Then they'll see how he does the 3rd year. But the bottom line is for the near future, he's their running back. And they made that decision. They were pretty definitive. And Stevenson said recently to the local media that he was close to getting the extension done. Now he's got it. There's no debate. It's not Antonio Gibson, who might be a 3rd down back. It's clearly Rhamondre Stevenson. And again, at $9 million per season, even Joe Mixon, who got $9.875 million in his new deal with the Texans, he's making more, and he's older than Stevenson.
Listen, I got to be honest with you. I have no problem at all with that price tag, and I think that's a deal for the Patriots. Remember when Barkley was struggling to get $10 million out of the Giants, right? And then they gave him $11 million, like they had done him a favor, and gave him an extra $1 million to calm him down because he wanted so much more than being tagged. I think this is the window, Adam, in my opinion, from frankly $9 million to in the range of $13 million, and anyone else above that has to be extraordinary.
Oh yeah, because when Kamara did his deal 3 years ago at $15 million a year, I mean, he was one of the top 3 backs in the league. The Niners just took McCaffrey. They redid his deal. They got some cap relief, but they extended it $19 million per season. So you're right. If you want in today's NFL, because running backs typically don't get paid, if you want to get big-time money, you've got to be exceptional. I thought you said that very well. And now with Stevenson at $9 million a year, it's really not. It's nowhere near what people are making out to be on social media. I don't know what the outcry is. This guy's a really good football player, and he's been a good 4th-round pick out of the 2021 draft for the Patriots.
Yeah, it's a good deal. It's good for him. It's good for them. It makes sense. Yep. This is the marketplace now for that position. He is certainly not McCaffrey. I would say they got him for what he's worth.
Exactly. Again, and by the way, he was not a free agent. It's another point we need to make here. He was on the final year of his rookie deal, so they extended it 4 years. So, yeah, we understand here. It's not like he was on the street and signed a big free agent deal in March where, yeah, like Barkley did. You mentioned that. He gets just over $12.5 million from the Eagles per season. Well, he was an unrestricted free agent. He was on the market where this player was already under contract. They didn't need to do this deal, but they did, and he's gonna be under team control for 5 more years. It's actually a smart deal from the Patriots standpoint. And a guy, by the way, has been very productive for being a 4th-round pick, and he won't be much of a sharing situation. And I know that they were pretty impressed, as I understand it, with his ability to play through injury last season. He had a bunch of injuries. I remember he got hurt in their game in London, but he was able to play through injury until it kind of ended his season. But this guy's been a good story, the 4th-round pick. I applaud the Patriots for getting this deal done.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, like the Saquon Barkley deal, like they were giving him $11 million with the Giants off of a tag, and then the Eagles got him for $1.5 million more. I thought that was a great move by the Eagles, and I do think he's worth 12. They gave him 12.5. So let's talk now about all of your tanning opportunities that are going to be going on in the great Golden State. You'll be in California a lot because at least 5 teams have moved their training camps to Cali.
This is fascinating. And by the way, there are going to be 6, most of any state. Of the 32 teams, we're going to have 6. Remember, the Niners in Santa Clara in Northern California. So this is interesting. So the Chargers, now, you and I have done segments here on Coast to Coast, right? Over the last 3 years when I've been at Costa Mesa for the Chargers camp at the Jack Hammett Sports Complex. Well, the Chargers are now moving to Los Angeles to what's called the Bowl. They're going to be in El Segundo, right near LAX. So they have their own complex now. That's where we're going to do everything. So what's going to happen is another team's going to move in there from the same division, the AFC West. The Raiders, who, talking to them, they want to get out of the heat. And they're going to move in there to that complex in Costa Mesa. So you'll see me from there. And I'm sure I'll do a segment on the field there. We're on the 40-yard line after practice, which is always fun. And now the Rams, who had been at UC Irvine for many years, they're going to move over to Loyola Marymount, which is closer to Los Angeles. And now, how about this? The Saints, now, here's why they're moving to California just for the summer. They're building a cafeteria, and it's not going to be ready because you can't not feed the players and the coaches in the front office. So just this summer, they're moving to Los Angeles. And it's just funny. And they're going to do it at UC Irvine. So now the Saints and the Raiders, and we'll see if they practice with each other because those camps are about 12 minutes from each other. And as you know, that's in Orange County. So it's really fascinating. So Scott, we're going to now have 5 teams in the LA area, 6 overall in California. It's really, really cool.
So, yeah, Irvine and Costa Mesa are like 5 minutes apart.
I know.
So you would think that they would, that's in Orange County, and it's right near, the airport there in Orange County. I forget, but I used to fly out of there all the time. John Wayne, right?
John Wayne
that's
Airport,
where that.
North
that's
County.
right. So they're probably going to train together. But when did they build this bolt in El Segundo? I never heard of that.
Yeah, they just built it. It is called The Bolt. And yeah, they actually just got it done this spring. So this will be their first training camp there. And in fact, they're going to do everything there. Their practices, training camp. And you know what? That sports complex where I've been to in Costa Mesa, where I would do the segments with you, they really play soccer there. I'll give them credit. They've done a good job of somehow having 3 football fields there because you have to. For a training camp, you can't just have 2. You need to have 3. And they're able to do that. But it's not the biggest park in the world. And I just find it interesting that the Saints, who, by the way, had practice, ironically, with those same Chargers at that park, they're not going there. The Raiders are doing that. So, yeah, the whole thing is fascinating to have 5 teams in L.A. And, of course, we have the Niners in Santa Clara, by the way, in Northern California, which is about 90 minutes or a little bit less from downtown San Francisco.
So I took my son to Vegas, and he was blown away by 2 things. One, the Allegiant Stadium, because he's never been there, and he was like, "Wow, is that the Raiders Stadium?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's Allegiant, where they had the Super Bowl." And he's like, "That's amazing looking." And then I took him to the Sphere to see the Grateful Dead, and he thought that was even 5 times cooler than Allegiant Stadium. I think that Sphere is the coolest thing I've ever been in for a stadium of any kind. It's unbelievable. Great stuff today on Stevenson and all the moves to camps in California. Adam, thank you.